Good morning. My name is Salvatore Gagliano. I'm a retired Air Force general with a pretty interesting flight log and still a fresh passion to aviation and its history. Be advised, I'm not giving you a sort of lengthy lecture, but what I'm going to give you some snappy takes away for you. I was asked to share some consideration on risk assessment and management, and above all, to apply the right mindset to develop effective and swift strategy to risk mitigation. And the air operation environment as such we are in today is one which tends to effectively train this ability, particularly to save life and resources. Let us state very clearly up the front, risk mitigation must be a main concern of a savvy leadership. Nowadays, means and resources, not only financial, are even more critical, and no one in a leading position can afford to waste them without hitting the target their air or his organization pursues. Therefore, the same consideration or best practices would apply to a manager or to a decision maker, an individual, who must strike the right balance between performance and resources in a timely and effective manner. Well, in case of an emergency, speed of action is increasing, but the basic principle remains the same. Therefore, number one, don't assume, double check. This rule have been always applied to make sure in the air and on the ground to have always the right position in place. That means a very accurate planning and rechecking. In this phase, all tools directed to risk neutralization are very useful. My friend here at Calony knows a lot about it. Number two, you've got to ask yourself frequently, what if? You've got to have always a plan B at your end. You make sure when you're planning any destination, you've got to take in account another solution that you must have to your disposal. That's in order to beat the objective of your activity. Number three, not eight, timing is a critical factor. The perfect answer out of time is useless, particularly in aviation world. It means its effects are most of the time deadly. To speak frankly, I've got the impression that time in a so-called outside world has a sort of different approach. It seems to me that sometimes the approach wait and see unfortunately dominate. We must give the same importance, in this case, the same importance as fuel has got in aviation world. Fuel means money and it is limited. Make sure, therefore, that your solution would be feasible, acceptable, and above all, affordable. Number four, you lead your team up the front and train and motivate to the aim of the organization that must be visible and continuously rechecked. That reconnects to number one rule. If you remember, you must verify that you are flying the organization in the right direction. Number five, no stress at all allowed. It means that you must manage the stress along the chain of command, not to lose situation awareness and still keeping a sharp eye. You must prevent it flowing along the organization chain of command or structure. Must try to reshape the environment, maintain control, give your team task and priority cut and clear. In aviation, we use the John Boyd OODA loop concept, which means observe reality, orient yourself, decide and act swiftly. Approaching to land, 3 greens to full stop, we could wrap up what we've been saying. Confronting the risk to get your objective, you act as you would plan a flight and your route. You need a track to be sure that you fly your objective to get to your destination on time. Simply, you must have a strong and a strategy in place. You must be aware of risk, obstacles, constraints, of warnings, and you might find along the route and be able to cope with. Therefore, by planning, you must mitigate them all. That is a routine that you could apply to all well-oriented human activity. In just one word, make this the rule of your life. Thank you for your attention and keep in touch.